Hello, travelers. I'm Chris. Welcome to Lorespire. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to build Sosiel as a competent healer. Okay, one who is more than good enough to be the main healer for a party that is playing the game on core difficulty settings. Okay, this video is a part of the full party build video series that I have been working on. And we've only got one more character to go after this before we can finally get to the actual full party build video. Alright, so I'm definitely looking forward to that, and I hope you are too. There are timestamps down in the description, so you can skip ahead if you like. Now let's get started. Sosiel starts the game at level 6, and unfortunately in this game we cannot respec companion characters back before the level that they start at. I would prefer it if I could respec Sosiel into an Ecclesiasturge or a Herald Caller, or if I wanted to keep him as a straight healer, turn him back into an Oracle, or into an Oracle, I guess, not back into. But anyways, we can't do that, so that doesn't really matter that much. Because of that, this build is fairly basic, and we are mostly just going to focus on healing and survivability so that Sosiel can keep on healing. There is one exception to this that we will get into once we get to the Mythic Path part of the video. Okay, so looking here, Sosiel will start out with selective channeling, extra channel, toughness, and medium armor focus. Okay, he'll also start out with channel energy, cleric proficiencies, and the abilities from the luck and good domains. Of course, none of that stuff can be changed. The only thing that we actually have any control of with Sosiel, since he is a base cleric that's already at level 6, is all of these feats from level 7 to level 19. Okay, so at level 7, we're going to take another extra channel. Okay, this will give Sosiel the ability to do some extra channeling, which is more healing, which is good, especially in the assault on Dresden. That can be extremely helpful. So I wanted to pick that up before then. And then we're going to concentrate on improving Sosiel's reflex save with lightning reflexes, because Sosiel's reflex save is garbage. All right, yeah, it's pretty bad. You can see even with the bonuses and being at level 20, it's still only plus 11. So yeah, pretty bad. Anyways, I'm actually not sure if you were able to see that. Yeah. Never mind. Moving on. Okay, after that, we're going to take Blind Fight, and this is mostly just for the immunity to gazes or gaze attacks that it gives. Then improved lightning reflexes, great fortitude, because the farther you get in this game, the more important your fortitude saves become. And we definitely don't want to be getting or failing any saves against death effects here later in the game. Then another extra channel for more healing. And last, we have improved great fortitude. Alright, again, base cleric, so there aren't really many choices to make. There's not much to his character card. So let's go over here and take a look at Sosiel's skill point allocation. You get Sosiel at level 6, like we said before, so whenever Sosiel gains a level up to level 7, I suggest taking those first 3 skill points that Sosiel gains and putting them all into mobility. Okay, then after that, at each level, just allocate your points to max out Persuasion and Lore. Once those two are maxed, which I believe should be at level 9, at level 9 you should be able to have both of those at 9, and from then on at each level up, just put 1 point into Persuasion, 1 into Lore Religion, and 1 into Perception. So the final values will be 3 points in Mobility, 17 in Perception, 20 in Persuasion, and 20 into Lore Religion. Okay, now as you can see, there are no effects, conditions, buffs, nothing like that. So the stats that you are seeing are what they will be at level 20 without anything affecting them. That includes the ability scores over here. Okay, I've taken off all equipment that would change these. All right, so these will be your final ability scores with Sosiel. At levels 8 and 12, I suggest putting your ability points into Charisma. Okay, and that's because we're not going to be using Sosiel with this build to cast offensively, so we don't really need to raise the DCs of his spells. And putting extra points into Charisma will give Sosiel more uses of channel energy, and will make his channel energy more effective against the undead. Also, whenever we take Mythic Channeling later, it will increase the amount of bonus healing we get from Mythic Channeling. Then at level 16 and level 20, I suggest going ahead and putting your points into Wisdom. Okay, this will give Sosiel some extra spell casts whenever you get to 20 Wisdom, and it'll also raise the DC of his spells, although that shouldn't really matter too much, as I was just saying. And then the final point at level 20, that gives us 21, is just because all of his scores are positive. Or, excuse me, not positive. All of his ability scores are already even, so we're not going to get an additional bonus to anything by putting it anywhere else. So we're sticking with Wisdom there. Okay. Now let's go over here and look at the inventory real quick. As I said, I did unequip some stuff. And looking here at this, I just want to point out that I do like using multiple weapon sets for Sosiel. Especially whenever you first get him, I suggest using a glaive. This allows him to stay far enough back from the combat that he is not regularly targeted by enemies, but does allow him to still do damage, of course, at a range from behind the front lines. And being that close allows him to use his healing spells without having to move too far, since his initial healing spells will be touch-based or close range based. Anyways, and then having a one-handed weapon and a shield is a good idea in case he does get targeted in melee. You can swap your weapons over to that and turn on defensive fighting to help him last longer. And alternatively, if that's not an option for whatever reason, sorry, here we go, level 2 spells. I do suggest keeping some casts of grace on hand. At lower levels, it may not be possible, but definitely once you get to higher levels, keep some spell slots filled with grace so that Sosiel can move out of melee combat without taking any attacks of opportunity. This is a swift action to cast, so you can cast this, move 10 or 15 feet or however far you need to move, and then you can still cast a healing spell or do whatever it is that you need to do with Sosiel. Okay, and the last thing, I do suggest keeping a ranged weapon on Sosiel. Okay, that is so that whenever the fighting really bad, you really need him to stay away from the front lines, not be targeted, or you're worried about AoEs, or whatever, he can move to a longer range and still participate in combat. Alright, so yeah, I just wanted to point out those weapon sets. And now come over here to the Mythic Path. And for Sosiel's Mythic ranks, I suggest Animal Domain and Mythical Beast for the first and second Mythic ranks. And this is what I was talking about earlier, that this is the exception to us concentrating on survivability and healing. Adding an animal companion to your party is very, very powerful in this game. Alright, it's really, really helpful. And having this for the assault on Dresden is definitely going to help your party out. Okay. So yeah, the animal domain obviously gives Sosiel a pet. It also gives him all of these domain spells that you see down at the bottom of the description there. You probably won't really use any of those except for Magic Fang for your animal companion. Okay, and then Mythic Beast is going to increase the strength, dexterity, and constitution of Sosiel's animal companion, and also give it allow it to ignore damage reduction except for damage reduction that has no exceptions. Alright, then Mythic rank 3 and 4, we're taking Abundant Casting, Improved Abundant Casting. That's obvious, gives Sosiel more spell casts so that he can buff and heal more. Then we want Boundless Healing, which will increase Sosiel's healing by a little bit, the amount that he can heal by a small amount. But more importantly, it will allow all of his healing spells to be cast as though they had reach, which is really strong. For at that point, you can put him in your back ranks if you want, and he should still be able to heal the front ranks of your party, or you can keep him in the middle, or however you want to do that. Personally, I suggest still keeping him in the middle, but freely moving him to the back if there's any significant chance of him being in danger, since he can reach much, much further with his healing spells by then, and doesn't need to be close to your frontline fighters at that point. Okay, then we're going to take Mythic Channeling, and with the points that we put into Charisma, this will actually increase... Excuse me, that says Mythic Resolve. This is actually going to increase the amount that Sosiel's channel energy heals or damages, either one, by 12. Okay, 12 is pretty significant, especially as we know this is a full party build, or part of a full party build. So with Sosiel's pet and then Sela's pet, we're talking about 8 party members. 8 times 12, that's 96 damage, additional damage healed. You know, that's pretty significant. It's definitely helpful and definitely worth it. Okay. All right. So anyways, yeah, going on here to Mythic rank 7, we have greater abundant casting. This is important. More spell casts are definitely good for buffing and healing purposes. Also, this will give you more casts of Heal Mass, which is by far the best healing spell that Sosiel is going to have to use, and you'll want as many casts of that as you can get. Okay, then we'll take Mythic Resolve at Mythic rank 8. This increases all saving throws by 1. Definitely good. Also increases Sosiel's hit points. Then Rupture Restraints. This will prevent this long list of status effects. Okay, which is good because you need your healer healing, not, you know, paralyzed or stunned, or, you know, whatever the effect may be. All right, and then last, we're taking Lightning Reflexes Mythic, and that's just because Reflex Save is Sosiel's worst saving throw, and so we're going to improve that a little bit there with Lightning Reflexes Mythic. All right, now let's move over here to Sosiel's pet. Well, of course, he doesn't have any Mythic powers, but if we come over here, we can see its character sheet, and I have chosen Aggressor for the archetype for this pet, and Smilodon, of course. That's because the amount of damage that Sosiel will be contributing is pretty small. You know, not much is going to be coming from Sosiel, so we're going to compensate for that by getting as much damage as we can out of the pet. All right, so these are his feats: Toughness, Weapon Focus Bite, Armor Proficiency, Light Barding, Outflank. Anyways, and then after that, we're going to take Iron Will and Improved Iron Will, because the pets or animal companions in general just have poor will saves. As you can see down here, it's only plus 12 at level 20. And then from there, we're going to take Great Fortitude and Improved Great Fortitude, and then Lightning Reflexes and Improved Lightning Reflexes. And all of that is just to keep the animal companion alive, because he can't really deal damage if he isn't conscious and in combat. Okay, and he will get Power Attack, Bleeding Strike, Multi-Attack, and an improved version of Bleeding Strike here. All of which, of course, increases the animal companion's damage significantly. And being a Smilodon with this build right here, you should be getting fairly decent damage from him for an animal companion. All right, now let's look at the Smilodon's scores over here. Ability scores, excuse me. Now, as you can see, the base value for strength is 16. You are going to add a point to strength at levels 8, 12, and 16. Okay. The level 4 point actually goes into intelligence so that we can get outflanked. All right, and then the last point at level 20 is going to go into constitution. All right, just to give some more hit points and increase the constitution save of the Smilodon. All right, so anyways, the final values for the Smilodon's ability scores will be right here. Base value 16 strength, and then 17 dexterity, 14 constitution, 3 intelligence, 15 wisdom, and 10 charisma. All right, and that's pretty much everything that we need to know about the pet and about Sosiel. That's the whole build right there. I hope that you like the build, and obviously I did this in a new format, with the video camera so that you can actually see me. And instead of reading from a script, I've actually been doing all of this kind of off of the cuff, just making it up as I go along, and I'm sure you could tell that. So let me know which format you like better. If you like it better like this, where you can see me and I'm just kind of talking about things going along, and obviously the video is moving at a more brisk pace, and I probably, hopefully, sound more natural. That's what I'm trying to achieve here, anyways. Or if you prefer the way I've been doing prior videos, where things are scripted. All right, and one more thing before we go, I do want to say that we have hit 1,500 subscribers. All right, and we are doing a giveaway for the channel to celebrate that and to thank the community for our support. You can find rules and details for this giveaway down in the description of this video. Okay, it'll tell you how you can enter, how you can win, and the rules and requirements for participating. All right, so be sure that you check that out. We also have a Discord server now, so if you want to join the Discord, talk with the community, hang out, I'll be in there, pretty much every day. Depending on how busy I am, it might only be for 15 or 20 minutes, or on some days where I'm not as busy, I might be in there for, I don't know, an hour or two, or who knows. But yeah, anyways, be sure to check out the Discord server too. And thanks for your time. Thanks for your support. I appreciate it. This has been Chris with Lorespire. Be well, my friends.